All right, welcome everybody. This is driver's education, the theory part of the class. So I'm gonna go over basically today all of the steps that you need to do to get your driver's license. So that's one, so you kind of know the whole entire process. And then I'm gonna give you some really important information as you go through the course and how that all works. Okay. All right. So first off, hopefully, and I think everybody has, I've looked, everybody should have logged into their driver's education course. Okay. This is a block course. It goes all the way. We have until January 12th to finish, but I have the final exam because we have winter break here, that kind of stuff, due on the 16th. So I'd like to have everybody done by the 16th. That would be great. But there is quite a bit to do. The first module is due on the 4th, then the 11th, 18th, 23rd. Then we skip a week because of we have the break, right? Then we skip a week. We have the 4th, 5th, and then the final exam, 16th of December. Okay. But you will have some time to catch up after that if we can just get everything there. Yeah, 16th of December, final exam, if we can get that in there and done by. Okay. So this class is a little bit different because there's different regulators. Okay. We have this Utah State Board of Education, and we have the Driver's License Division and the Department of Public Safety. Okay. So I had to go through a bunch of certifications to be able to teach this course, and they've created the course, and they ask us to do it through Canvas. So that's why it's not on this OLS right here. It's through Canvas. So to get to this place, you're going to have to go to Canvas. And I hope most people have already logged in. And I sent emails this morning to who didn't. But that is the log in to Canvas. Okay. So you got to go into that Canvas, utva.instructure.com, login -Canvas. So once you get there, your login, okay, is your utahvirtualacademy.org email. Okay. So whatever it is at utahvirtual.org. And then the password is DriveFit, all lowercase. Okay. So once you do that, you'll need to log in to the course. And it should pop up. If you haven't accepted it, it'll have at the top to accept it. And it'll say Block 2, Driver's Education. And I'm going to go to a student view so you can see what you're looking at here. Okay. Going back here, so everything's done on Canvas, but your grade is actually going to be on this OLS here. Okay. This is a pass or fail class. So you're not going to get an A, B, C, D, F grade. It's either you pass it or you don't. Okay. If you go to calendar, it should sync up the same times with Canvas. So module 1, which there's nothing on this, nothing here, it's all in Canvas. So when you actually go to module 1, it will link you, says go to the Canvas link, and it links you to there to log in. Okay. And then I will put the grades in on here. So don't worry about the grades on Canvas. They don't matter. Whatever your grade is, so it's due like this Friday, module 1. So I'll start zeroing out grades for the full-time students there. Okay. So let's go into this course to see how this all works. This is just kind of a little welcome thing. The best thing to do is just go to the modules, and you just start going through each one. Okay. These are locked until you go to a certain place, if that makes sense. Okay. So let me just go to some very important ones right now. Some things that are required to pass the class. So the state of Utah requires that you attend a 0 fatalities presentation. Okay. You need to sign up for this presentation. You can either do this in person at a location, high school near you that's presenting, or you can do it virtually. Okay. If you do it virtually, it's through Zoom, and you have to have your camera on with your parent right by, because it's a parent night. So I'm going to put that link in there, and let me just show you real quick. You're going to scroll down here. Here's the in-person events, as you can see. So what here? We're November. Okay, so November. So for example, today's the 2nd. So if you lived in Manti area, you could go to Manti High, or they have one of your Alta High, Fremont High School's the 3rd, and so forth. That's an in-person one if you want to go to in-person. Okay, they have the different times there, and you need to have your parent there. If you want to do a virtual one, here's the virtual dates. They do schedule up quickly, so you need to sign up. So there's one November 3rd, November 7th, November 17th, the 21st, 28th, and then I'm sure they'll get going there. But that's a requirement by the state, and they send me a list of who goes and who doesn't. So you have, and I'll be looking at those and just kind of marking those off. Okay. So that's something you need to look at as well. Right here, the behind the wheel training. Okay. How often do we have this class run right now? We really only have one live class, and then I'll have one help session there. We're not really going to have live classes. It's going to be all asynchronous. You guys kind of work through it. Okay. Most of it will be, you're going to be going, nope, not once a week, just this week. And then I'll probably have one in December for those that need it. Okay. That aren't cutting it. Okay. So to jump right here, you'll want to go to like module 1. And then it starts you off in this module, and it unlocks the entire module. Okay. And then you just keep going forward, and then it will have all the stuff that you kind of need to do. Has videos you need to watch. You take a quiz here and there. And so what I do is I just go in and make sure you're doing all the stuff and turn the stuff in. And then I go and I grade it, and I put it in the OLS right here. So your grade that you want to look at is in here. I'm just going to emphasize that over and over again. So you do the work here, but I grade you here. Okay. Some modules are more than others. Okay. But you would just kind of go through here. There is one thing, and I forgot to get that out. Let me hurry and grab it real quick. So if you haven't filled out a link yet for registration, actually, I think it was on the homepage. It was one of the first things I put here. Nope, I haven't done it. Okay, let me hurry and just get the form link so you guys can fill that out. That helps me get all your information, because one of the things I need at the very end is your permit number. Okay, so your permit number, I'll need it to be able to put you in the state database, knowing that you did pass it. And so other instructors can start the behind the wheel training portion with you. Okay, once you get to that point. Well, as I find that, I can find that in a second. So let me just jump over here real quick. So we talked about the parent night. So make sure you sign up for that. And I did put that link in the chat, and it is on Canvas. Let me just go over. So there's this video that I actually made when I was at another place that goes over all the steps of driver's education that you need to know. So we're going to watch that video real quick, and I'm going to stop it through it, just so you understand all the steps you need to do to get your license. And then I'll find that that link for you. Okay. So let me play that, and we'll go from there.
Do you need to get your driver's license in Utah? Come take your driver's education course through UMA Driver's Education, sponsored by Utah Military Academy, to help students that may not have driver's educational available to them. Here are the steps. Step 1. Obtain your learner's permit. Once you turn 15 years old, you can obtain a learner's permit in Utah. You can do this by passing the learner's permit test. You can either take the permit test at your local driver's license division or through our workshop. You can find more information at umadriversed.org. Step 2.
Okay, so I'm stopping that right there. So I know some of you may not have your permit yet. So by the end of this class, so January, 12th, as I said, I need you to have your permit and I need you to be able to pass it. So you go to the local driver's license division and you grab that. I'm going to throw a couple things. No, that's not it. If you go right here, you can schedule an appointment at the driver's license division if you do not have it. So you can actually take this class without having your permit yet, but you need to have it done by the time we get done. Okay. So let's move on.
2. Start driving with a parent or guardian. Utah requires 40 hours of driving before you can get your license. 10 of those must be at night. So start getting some practice in.
Okay, so another thing is you need to start driving now if you have your permit with your parents, okay? Your parents sign at the driver's license division that you have driven this 40 hours and 10 at night. They sign an affidavit on the application. So you need to make sure that you have this done and you get it working, okay? And this will just help you when you go to the behind the wheel training, which they'll talk about in a second.
Step 3. Sign up for .org. Start your online course as soon as 30 hours of theory class allows the student to better understand the laws and rules of the road. You can finish as fast as you can, but you only have 12 weeks to complete this section.
Okay, I skipped that because you didn't know to have that. You didn't need some of that. So what you're doing right now is the online theory class. Okay, so the online theory class, and you won't have driver simulation with us, just the online class. It basically goes over all the stuff. So that's why I have the Canvas course. You're going through that. It's supposed to be 30 hours, set up for 30 hours. So with like the zero fatalities presentation, some of the other stuff you do, it will be about 30 hours. So it is quite rigorous. So just be prepared for that.
Step 5. Drive time with an instructor and skills test. After you have completed the theory section of the class, you have driven with your parents or guardian for at least 20 hours, a certified instructor will take you on the road. You will observe others driving as well as show your instructor you are ready for the skills test. As soon as you're ready for the skills test, the instructor will administer it to you. Step 6.
All right. So the behind the wheel training, okay, we do not do at Utah Virtual Academy because we're everywhere, right? So we only do the online class. So one of your assignments is you're going to need to find a place to do this behind the wheel training. The state has asked that you usually go to maybe your local district and do it because usually they're the cheapest and they can do this skills test for you. There are some other things that you can do. There's private companies you can go to. There's some other charter schools that are willing to allow things there. I can help you with that process. A lot of students like to ask me, it's like, hey, where can I do the behind the wheel training? And so I just give them some ideas, but it's up to you to be able to find this portion. Usually this portion, they charge a fee, anywhere from, depending where it is, anywhere from like $100 to almost $200. If you go to a private company, it could be like $250, $300. So just so you know what to kind of expect on this portion. So the theory class with Utah Virtual, not charged, right? But for this, it is.
Graduation and receiving your license. After you have completed steps 1 through 5, you have graduated from driver's education. In order to get your license, you must be at least 16 years old and have held your permit for at least 6 months. The next step.
Okay, so this is very important. So to graduate from driver's ed, right, you have to do both the theory class and the behind the wheel training. There's both, okay? You'll do the theory class with us. Now, you have to be at least 16 years old to get your license, and you have to have held your permit for at least 6 months in order to qualify to get your license. Okay. You can't just get your permit and have already completed driver's ed or complete it in a couple weeks and get it unless you are older. I think 18, that 6 months doesn't apply. So, and then when you're 19, it's different. Yeah. So once you're 19, all you have to do is pass the written test and also the behind the wheel, the skills test, and you can get your license. But until then, from 16 to 18, you have to take driver's ed. So it is required. So those are the steps. And then after that, you could go to the driver's license division and get your license and go from there. Okay, so just going back just real quick, let me leave student view. So overall on the modules, there are 5 different modules. As you can see, there's more in some modules than others. And you can see the dates just on here that they're due. And then the final exam is quite a bit. So let's say you're getting to the end of the quarter and you're only done with module 4. I may say, hey, hurry up and just do the final exam because that's worth the most points. And then hopefully that gets you over to passing and stuff like that. Okay. So I'd like you to get through all of it, but when it comes down to crunch time, make sure you do the final exam for sure because it's worth the most points. But that doesn't mean if you just take the final exam, you'll pass. Not at all. You have to do a lot of the other stuff there. So anyways, let me leave it up for any questions. By the time you leave, I need you to fill out this document if you haven't already. It's a Google form that I put in there. Let me just show you what it looks like. This form, you'll need to put first, last name, parent's name, or guardian, best phone number, your birth date, because I'll need that to put in the driver's license division website, your email, your student email, your learner's permit number, which is at the very top. So the learner's permit number, a lot of people put the wrong one. It's at the very top and it begins with a 2. Okay. And then also your expiration date. And so I'd like you to fill this out right now if possible or soon. If you don't have your permit, still fill it out, but just put on the permit number to be determined and then just put, an expiration date that's somewhere where you think you're going to be getting your permit. Okay. But I want everybody kind of in here because that's when I check you off for the state to show that we've done it. Okay. All right. So let me leave it to you guys. Any questions? Were you all able to log in to Canvas, find everything? I'm going to stop the recording, but we'll just do a Q&A now.